In this episode, we are going to look into one of the most incredible and timeless stories in the Bible, Job and the secret of his success. It is a story of unimaginable loss, steadfast faith, and ultimate restoration. A story that has inspired generations and continues to hold profound lessons for us today. Before we continue, please subscribe to this channel, like, and share this video. The story of Job begins in the land of Uz. Job was a man described as blameless and upright. This means that he feared God and shunned evil. He was immensely blessed, with vast wealth, a large family, and a reputation for being one of the greatest men of the East. Job's life was the epitome of success. But as we'll soon see, true success is not measured by wealth or status, but by something far deeper. As Job was riding high, incredibly, his story takes a dramatic turn when the scene shifts to the courts of heaven. Here, we witness a conversation between God and Satan. God highlights Job's righteousness. He said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job?" God was asking Satan to consider Job's character and uptightness. In essence, he was showing off Job as a model child. But Satan, the accuser, challenges this. He claims that Job's faithfulness is only because of his blessings. He said to God, "Take away everything he has, and he will surely curse you to your face." Satan obviously thinks that any human is incapable of keeping faith with God if enough stress is added to their life. To prove Satan wrong about what he thinks of humans, God permits Satan to test Job, but forbids him from harming Job himself. This sets the stage for one of the most intense tests of faith ever recorded. The trials begin. In a single day, Job loses everything. His livestock, his servants, and even his children are taken from him through a series of catastrophic events. Raiders attack his herds, fire falls from the sky, and a mighty wind collapses the house where his children are feasting, killing them all. The scope of Job's loss is unimaginable. He goes from being one of the wealthiest men in the region to a grieving father and a destitute man in an instant. Yet Job's response is remarkable. He tears his robe, shaves his head, and falls to the ground in worship. He declares, "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." Job's faith remains unshaken despite his immense suffering, but the trials are far from over. The second test. Satan returns to God and argues that Job's faithfulness persists only because his health remains intact. God allows Satan to afflict Job physically, but spares his life. Job is struck with painful sores from head to toe. He sits among the ashes, scraping his skin with a piece of broken pottery to relieve his agony. His suffering is not just physical, but emotional and spiritual. His wife, overwhelmed by the situation, urges him to curse God and die. Yet Job responds, "Shall we accept good from God and not trouble?" Even in the face of unbearable physical and emotional pain, Job's integrity stands firm. Imagine the depth of his despair, his body racked with pain, his heart broken over the loss of his children, his wife's support turned into despairing words, and his wealth reduced to ashes. Job's suffering is a profound picture of human endurance. Satan even tried to manipulate Job into doubting the essence of God through the counsel of friends. Job's 3 friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, come to comfort him. At first, they sit in silence, overwhelmed by his suffering. But when they begin to speak, their words are anything but comforting. They suggest that Job's suffering must be a result of his sin, that he is being punished by God. This leads to a series of profound and heated discussions. Job maintains his innocence and expresses his confusion about why he is suffering. He cries out to God, longing for an explanation and vindication. Job's speeches reveal a man wrestling with the mystery of suffering, yet refusing to let go of his faith. His words are raw and honest, showing the depth of his anguish and his unwavering desire to understand God's purpose. Then God speaks. After a long silence, God finally speaks, and what follows is one of the most awe-inspiring passages in the Bible. Out of a whirlwind, God addresses Job, not with answers, but with questions. Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation? Tell me if you understand. God's response is a powerful reminder of his sovereignty and wisdom. He doesn't explain Job's suffering, but reveals the vastness of his creation and his control over the universe. Job's perspective shifts. He realizes that God's plans and purposes are far beyond human understanding. In humility and awe, Job responds, "Surely I spoke of things I did not understand, things too wonderful for me to know." Job's encounter with God brings him peace, even without direct answers. He learns to trust in God's wisdom and goodness, no matter the circumstances. The redemption of Job. In the end, God restores Job's fortunes. He gives him twice as much as he had before, 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 donkeys. Job also has 7 more sons and 3 more daughters, and his daughters are noted for their exceptional beauty. Their names, Jemimah, Keziah, and Keren-Happuch, are recorded, emphasizing their significance. Job's material blessings are restored, but more importantly, his relationship with God is deepened. Job's story ends with a picture of restoration and blessing, but his greatest success lies in his renewed understanding of God's character and his unshaken faith. So what is the secret of Job's success? It lies in 3 key principles. Please take note for anyone desiring God-inspired success. Job had an unwavering faith in God. He trusted God's character even when he didn't understand God's actions. His faith was not dependent on his circumstances. Job had humility and was full of reverence. His encounter with God taught him to recognize his own limitations and to revere God's infinite wisdom. Job's story shows that suffering is not meaningless. It can refine us, deepen our faith, and bring us closer to God. Job's story is a reminder that success is not about wealth, status, or the absence of suffering. True success is about maintaining our faith and integrity no matter what life throws at us. It's about trusting that God's plans are good, even when we can't see the bigger picture. In our own lives, we may face trials that test our faith. Like Job, we might wrestle with questions and doubts. But Job's story assures us that God sees our struggles, that He is sovereign, and that He is with us through it all. The incredible story of Job is not just a tale of loss and restoration. It is a testament to the power of faith and the sovereignty of God. Job's secret to success was not in his wealth or even in his eventual restoration, but in his steadfast trust in God's goodness and wisdom. As we reflect on Job's story, let us strive to cultivate the same unwavering faith, humility, and perseverance. For in doing so, we too can find success, not as the world defines it, but as God does. Thank you for joining me on this journey through one of the Bible's most remarkable stories. Please remember to subscribe to this channel. Click on the notification bell icon for more videos about the mystery of the Bible.